The UK Afro and Caribbean event industry has been through some difficult times. Some businesses have closed and some have pivoted during these tough times. There are some businesses who also have been able to learn and flourish during these challenging times. In this episode, I will be meeting with some of our members, our Elite Vendor Network members, to hear their story of how they've been doing during the last year. I hope by hearing from our members, this will help you, empower you, educate you, and reassure you of how the events industry will soon be coming back in full strength. Tessie.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for having us in your home.
You're welcome.
So first of all, can you tell me a bit about what your business does?
My business is called BeeZees Creations.
Yeah.
And we do events planning, decorating, and mostly hiring as well.
Okay. And how is it, I guess, how has that been for you since you started?
It's been interesting. It's, I love decorating. I love changing a plain space into something extraordinary. So I love doing all that.
I like that. And what is, if there's one thing that you love about doing it, what's that one thing about going into an event, seeing the people? Is it when the people are not there and you're decorating it? What's one thing that you really love about the different things that you do with your business?
Actually, it's when you get people who know that space you are decorating, come in and they're like, oh, wow. Just that wow is enough. You don't need to say anything. So for me, it's refreshing. It's good that people come in and they are happy to see that you've done that, you've made that change in so much of a little time.
The reaction,
yes,
the development.
Yes.
So, capturing emotion. So how has Elite Vendors Network captured you as a member? How has it been for you?
I mean, it's amazing how you don't know something until you're in it.
Yes.
And also you don't know what you're missing until what you were missing until you get into a particular space or you get into that confines of people. I didn't know what I was missing as an event decorator until I got into the EVN. Is that unity, that sense of belonging where you need something, there's always somebody there who is able to assist you, even if there's nobody there who does what you are looking for, but they can point you in the right direction. It's just mind-blowing.
Accessibility to people.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like what you really said. You know, you encapsulated what, the Elite Vendors Network actually is.
Yeah.
And thank you for being a member.
Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. So I say, at what point, during COVID, would you say that your business had been impacted, or do you remember that specific time as to how your business had been impacted during COVID?
Funny enough, at the beginning of COVID, I kept saying, I'm a very positive person, for those who know. Even if I feel negative inside, I always speak positive. Even if something is going wrong, terribly wrong, I don't say something negative. I always come out positive. So at the beginning of the COVID, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to come out of this smelling like roses. That was my phrase. I was like, I'm going to come out smelling like roses. I'm going to come out smelling like roses. I knew it was going to be tough, but I just like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything negative. So I think in the first couple of months, it started dawning on me that things were going to be rough because I wasn't getting income, but I was hemorrhaging money. I was hemorrhaging funds. Bills had to be paid. Things had to go on. And at that point, I knew things weren't going to be the same. But we just had to move, just change the dynamics of the business, and so yeah.
So how did you change the dynamics, and what did you do, and how did you change the dynamics?
So to be honest, it wasn't really much of a change, because the ethos of BeeZees Creations is to be able to do high-end events as well as low-budget events. That's what I've always wanted my business to be, not to cater for only high-end, but also cater for high-end and low-budget. So when the COVID hit, obviously, the high-end events was scrapped. So because I had the low budget events, clients who still came, it was easy. Not really easy, but I had to, it was a case of A or B. So if B wasn't working, you had A to fall back on. So that was how we were able to manage and keep the business afloat.
Okay.
So it was, for me, it was almost like God was preparing me for something like this. It's not, I don't know if I say it's a good thing to say, but yeah.
I know what you mean, because he, I guess ultimately you go through trials and tribulations, you know, there's never always a smooth road.
Sure.
And the bumps make you stronger because you need to be able to get over them.
Absolutely.
And once you do, you know that these difficult times, they were difficult, but I survived, I managed, you know. So saying that, you say you weren't saying you were thriving, but you're saying you've managed. But from what the vibe I get from yourself is that the business is flowing. Business is flowing through. More than my business, put it that way. Literally more than my business. So how happy do you feel that you've been able to continue to deliver a certain level of service compared to others like myself, where I couldn't deliver basically anything at all?
I mean, put it this way. If I want to get a bucket of water, I just go to the tap and turn on the tap and I fill my bucket in less than 30 seconds. But if my tap is not flowing as normal, it's just trickling, the only thing I could do is just leave my bucket there overnight. By the time I come in the morning, it's full. So technically, during the lockdown, that was how it was.
Okay.
So I wasn't getting that rush of income.
But it was coming.
But it was trickling. It was just trickling. And that trickles was okay to get me by. I think it was just an issue of getting by.
I wish I could, my business was, I could get the trickles.
I'm sorry.
I wish. But I think, you know, you've done well, you know. You've
Thank
done
you.
well and you've come out the other side, and not a lot of businesses have been able to survive. Some have had to actually close their doors, or some didn't feel that they would be able to continue.
Yeah.
So you continued over the rough patches, the rough road, and you've persevered, and you're here now, smiling, and we're speaking, you know.
Thanks.
If we go look at the industry, so is there anything worrying you about the industry when we go back to normal, or some type of normality?
I don't think there's anything really to worry about. Yes, there will be a lot of work, a lot of things coming in. We've always known that when the lockdown is lifted, there will be weddings on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, weekdays. We all know that. And we are all used to stress when events are in motion. So to be honest, there's nothing really worrying. We are waiting. We've been waiting for this time to just go.
Waiting to go.
Yeah.
So when saying that, so is there anything that you wish, anything additionally that you wish you had done differently during lockdown that may have benefited you even more now?
You know, we talked about something, that the software thing I told you about.
Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, it was. I wish I had taken time to do that well, but because I didn't do it when I had all the time, now it's so difficult to. I've had the software on my system for over a month now, but I've not had time to. I've not even opened it for the past 2 weeks because there's not been time. Things are beginning to pick up, and if I'd done it all that time, I would have. It would have been up and running by now. So that's something I wish I had done differently. Okay. I wish I had taken time to work on.
But you are sort of getting to grips with going to use it.
Yes.
So that's the software you're speaking about. Is it the planning software? Please let me know.
It's called Revit.
Okay.
I mean, anybody who is in construction, architectural field would know what it's about. It's almost like it's like AutoCAD. It's an offshoot of AutoCAD. Okay. So you use the computer to do designs and everything, but Revit gives it more. It gives like flesh to bones. Okay. And so my idea was to use Revit to create my plans.
Yes.
So if I've got like if I've got an event for say 200 people, the sitting plan and everything, I'll be able to show how my plans will look like, my designs will look like to the clients.
So bring it to life.
To bring it to life. So I don't have to tell them, oh, I can use this flower, I can use this. I just bring the flower, send it to you, show them. And with Zoom, I can just email it to them or send them a little clip. And yeah, but I couldn't do that before. So it's such a shame. But I'm still on it.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a working progress. So,
Yeah.
so I say, I guess in terms of that, you're looking to continue to develop the business.
Absolutely.
And I would say that it's coming towards the end of this year, right? And then towards the end of the year, it's going to come to the beginning of the year. So what do you think the event industry would look like towards the end of the year and the beginning of the year?
I do think those who are still in the business would go stronger because we've come through the...
Like yourself.
And you.
Yeah.
We've come through the hurdles and we are on the other side. We're going to be on the other side, stronger. So I think the event industry is going to be stronger for it. Because now, we've known now that technically the government don't really care about the event industry. So we now know everybody is like guiding yourself, doing things right. Yes, I think, yes, doing things right. So the event industry is going to be made up of people who are doing things right. Okay. Your business has to be on point. Your terms and conditions have to be on point. Those were the things we took for granted and that came back to bite us because we didn't have proper terms and conditions. I mean, sometimes when we have the EVN meet and greet when the lawyers came, I had that video, somebody sent the video I saved that video and I go back, look at it, and I look at it, I change something on my terms and conditions. So it's just little things. And when people look at my terms and conditions, they don't complain. They just say, oh, because they understand. But if you don't tell them this is what my terms and conditions should be, they don't care. They'll come back to me and say, you didn't tell me. So, but if it's there spelled out, they can't complain. They can't say you didn't tell me. So those are the things I see the event industry going towards. Everybody saying, okay, you know what? I've been bitten once. You're not going to fool me twice. I'm
glad that session was very helpful for you. It was very educational. Tessie, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joseph.